Hey everyone, there's been a lot of updates to World War Z over the past week, including new features and updates to the Nintendo Switch version. I did not think we would see any new mechanics added in the game at this point, so I was quite shocked to see the new patch notes. I also tested out the new Switch patch, so we will go over that today alongside all the new features. As always, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more gaming reviews and discussions. With that said, let's get into it. So first, earlier in the week we had a new free patch for the Aftermath expansion, adding in a few new features and cosmetics. My favorite being the new class loadouts, which I really wish we had added in the game when I made all my class build guides, but it's fine. This allows you to store up to 3 builds for each class, and will be especially great for classes like the Fixer that have a few very different but viable builds. They also added in new support items called Bandages and Adrenaline. Bandages can be placed on the ground and teammates are able to use them to recover health, while Adrenaline will allow you to revive yourself when downed and give you a temporary stamina boost. I'm wondering if they are testing out new features for a potential World War Z 2, and I do think they are good additions. That being said, their appearance rate seems to be all over the place. I'd go several levels without seeing any of them, while in others I would see them all over the place. Then they added in a few new trinkets and 2 new weapon variants. The new two-handed sword is awarded when you get all documents in one level, and then the advanced combat weapon variant is awarded when you get all documents in an episode. Considering how much work it is to collect all the documents, it's nice to see some rewards added in outside of the passive bonuses. And the advanced combat weapon looks amazing. I'm not sure if I'll grind for it specifically, but I'm sure at some point I'll get it just by playing the challenge levels enough. Lastly, in Horde Mode, rewards are now rewarded at the end of each level, which is an amazing quality of life change. They even said that they will have details on Horde Mode XL fairly soon, which I would have to imagine will be the final update for the game. They haven't said anything about another expansion, and at this point I personally prefer they just start working on a new game, as that will give them more freedom to improve on the game's mechanics and content. There were also the standard bug and stability fixes in the patch. However, on Reddit I did see people having problems with the new patch, although luckily I didn't run into the issues. That doesn't mean they're not there, just I specifically didn't run into them, and I do hope that they fix them for the people who are experiencing them. And then today we saw the Marseille levels added into the Nintendo Switch version alongside Horde Mode. This makes the Switch version basically in parity with how World War Z was before the Aftermath expansion launched, with the addition of daily messages. They said they also did some performance fixes and added in wireless LAN multiplayer. When it comes to performance, it seemed a little better when I was playing on the French levels, but don't expect it to be too different from launch. However, Horde Mode did run much better than I imagined it would. What they did was add in a ton of motion blur to cover up the frame rate loss a bit. It kind of works. I'm really not a fan of motion blur in general, but it's better than nothing in this case. That said, Horde Mode is totally playable, and I did not run into any major stutters or issues while playing it outside of some minor audio issues. The French levels ran about the same as I remember the base game playing, however the bigger issue for me was not finding anyone to play the levels with through matchmaking. After queuing for some time, I finally just soloed the levels, although I did get one person to join the last 10 seconds of one match. Horde Mode, I did find a group instantly though, and I imagine as more people find out about the new patch, the game's population will see a upwards bump over the next few weeks. I do hope the Aftermath expansion is brought to Switch, along with crossplay, which will really help out the community a lot. With the confirmation that AMD's FSR is coming to a few Switch games, I would love for Saber Interactive to look into adding it into the Switch versions of World War Z. This could really help give the game a more consistent resolution, frame rate, and frame time, which would go a long way with making the game look better and feel more responsive. When it comes to the free Aftermath update, it's crazy to see them still updating the game. We knew there was a Horde Mode XL patch coming, but I did not think we would see any new gameplay mechanics. Like I said earlier, at this point they might just be trying out some new ideas for a potential World War Z 2. With how successful the game has been, I do not see any reason why they would not make a sequel, especially considering they made their own proprietary game engine to create the game. That's not an easy undertaking, and I can't imagine them only wanting to use it for one game. With Evil Dead the game coming out soon, I'm sure the focus will shift to that for now, so I would be shocked to see another large content update for World War Z. And at this point, as much as I would like more content, I'd rather they just spend the development resources on final bug fixes and stability for people who are still having issues, and then move on to a new World War Z game. Something I would really like to do in the future with my channel is interview developers, and the Saber Interactive developers would be very high on that list. I'd really like to see how they came about making all of these different mechanics for World War Z and where they plan on going next with the franchise. I'm not sure if the channel is big enough quite yet for them to agree to that, but I do have to thank everyone as the channel just passed 1,500 subscribers, so thank you so much for everyone who has subscribed. Let me know down in the comments if you think this is the last major World War Z update outside of Horde Mode XL, or do you think we'll get another expansion? And is anyone still playing the Nintendo Switch version? I'm curious if I just ran into bad luck or if the game's population has seen better days. Thanks so much for watching, I'll see you all in the next video.